At the Tomb of the Unknowns in Arlington National Cemetery, President Bush lays a wreath to mark the official observation of Memorial Day 2005. As this and other public events unfolded across the country, there were also countless private moments of remembrance. In Pflugerville, Texas, just outside Austin, the Norwood family gathered at the grave of their son Byron, a 25-year-old Marine sergeant who died last November in Iraq.
And I believe it was his selfless nature that led him to ultimately make the ultimate sacrifice for his country and his brothers.
Byron is the third of 5 children born to Bill and Janet Norwood. From early on, he seems to be the center of attention.
He didn't let you overlook him as the middle child. He loved to make people laugh. He always did. He was kind of class clown in school.
But Byron also has a serious side, especially when it comes to his patriotism. Both his grandfathers served in the Marines during World War II. Byron enlists right out of high school.
There was no way we could have talked him out of it, much as I would have liked to at times.
Byron starts in the reserves, then goes active duty, joining the 3rd Battalion, 1st Marine Division. It is peacetime when he reports to Camp Pendleton in July 2001. But 2 months later, the world turns on its head.
When 9/11 happened, my immediate thought when I saw those buildings fall was we are at war and Byron's going to war.
Byron ships out for combat in January 2003 as the U.S. is building toward an invasion of Iraq.
They got over to Kuwait, waited for the president to give the order.
The order comes on March 20th, 2003, a short air campaign followed by a swift ground invasion. They hear from him 3 weeks later after the fall of Baghdad. Byron says he's safe and heading for home.
He was proud, but I think he kind of reserved judgment. He knew there was still a long, long way to go before the mission was complete.
While in combat, Byron had injured his shoulders carrying heavy supply packs and would need surgery. But instead of surgery, Byron volunteers for a second tour of duty.
When I heard him say shoulder surgery, I was thinking, yes, that's great, that'll keep you home. But no, he said he wasn't letting his Marines go over without him. He would go and he'd take care of the shoulder when he got back.
But Iraq is a much different place this time. In the aftermath of war, a bloody insurgency is claiming even more American lives.
Every time you'd hear of one on the news, you prayed that it wasn't going to be somebody knocking on your door, and then you'd feel guilty because you knew if it wasn't your door, it was somebody else.
Just before the invasion of Fallujah, Byron calls home.
He told us that he loved us and he'd be thinking about us and not to worry about him. And in the back of my mind, I wondered if that would be the last time we talked to him. And it was.
Early on November 14th, 2004, the Norwoods wake up to a knock on their front door.
The front porch light was on, and I could see the reflection on the buttons of the dress blues, and I knew immediately. Bill went to the door and opened it and let him in, and that was it.
On Byron's last day, his Humvee had been part of a patrol clearing buildings in southern Fallujah. 7 Marines were ambushed and wounded inside a house. As part of the rescue mission, Byron entered the building to direct the fire of his machine gunner. According to his commendation, Byron cleared one room, but as he moved into a second, a sniper fatally wounded him. The 7 trapped Marines he set out to save were eventually rescued.
And I think the fact that the 7 who were wounded were able to be gotten out of the building,
He would consider that successful.
that's what success was to him.
The senior ribbon.
Sergeant Byron Norwood is posthumously awarded the Purple Heart and buried in the local cemetery. But his story doesn't end there. About a month after his death, his mother writes to President Bush.
And it just struck me that the pain that we were feeling over the loss of Byron, I couldn't imagine what he was feeling.
Janet mails the letter and forgets about it. As the Norwoods grieve over their loss, they try to keep up with events in Iraq. The success of the elections in late January helps lift their spirits.
We felt terrific about it and knew Byron would feel that way.
About the same time, their phone rings with an unexpected invitation. The White House has read Janet's letter and invites the Norwoods to be the president's guest at his State of the Union address. Bill and Janet sit in the First Lady's box, behind another guest, an Iraqi woman named Safiya Talib al-Suhail. They learn her story during the speech.
11 years ago, Safiya's father was assassinated by Saddam's intelligence service. 3 days ago in Baghdad, Safiya was finally able to vote for the leaders of her country, and we are honored that she is with us tonight.
Then the Norwoods hear their son's introduction.
One name we honor is Marine Corps Sergeant Byron Norwood of Pflugerville, Texas, who was killed during the assault on Fallujah. Ladies and gentlemen, with grateful hearts, we honor freedom's defenders and our military families, represented here this evening by Sergeant Norwood's mom and dad, Janet and Bill Norwood.
Then, the woman who was finally able to vote hugged the mother whose son helped make it possible.
She said so many times, "Thank you." To me, it just sort of put a face and a heart onto what Byron died for. And I guess explained some things to my heart that I needed to understand.
During the hug, Byron's dog tags, which Janet always carries, tangle in Safiya's blazer.
We have definitely felt like he's kind of guided things along somehow. His battalion lost 33, including Byron. There are 33 families just from our battalion feeling just like we do. It's a high price that's paid for what we enjoy here.
The Taliban have their fist in the mix here. Trust me, this is going to be chaotic. I guarantee you we will lose Marines. What happens over the next 5 days will be a cornerstone of your memory for the rest of your life.
I've been told by Afghans, I don't mind Marines, I don't mind Taliban, I just want everyone to leave me alone.
The key to winning is to let the people understand that you're here for them.
It'll be big when I get home, can't wait.
Marines don't fight wars. Marines fight battles. And the other stuff will drive you crazy.